How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? I hope you're all having a beautiful day. My name is Mike, and welcome to Money and Life TV. This is my sidekick, Chipper.
Who summoned me? What is it?
In today's video, we're going to be talking specifically about Vanguard Dividend Funds. There are 4 in total on the Vanguard website. This is actually the 3rd Vanguard video I've made. If you have not seen them, check them out. I have one on the best performing Vanguard mutual funds of all time, and one on the best performing Vanguard ETFs of all time. And I just want to take a moment to say welcome if you're new to this channel. If you're somebody who's looking to learn more about personal finances, more about investing, more about taxes, this channel is for you. And so I would highly consider subscribing by hitting that red subscribe button down below, because we make new videos every single week on this channel that are going to help you learn those subjects. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button to let me know you liked it. Let's get started. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you've seen my other videos, you know I like to use spreadsheets because I think it's such an easy way to show you the data on screen, and that way you can take the data home with you. And just like in the last video I did, you're going to be able to download the spreadsheet you see on screen right here for free. I'm going to link it up down below in the description section below. I'm going to give you the Dropbox link, and then I'm probably going to put it on my website as well, moneyandlifetv.com. And after we've gone through this video, guys, and this research, let me know which Vanguard dividend fund you'd be interested in investing in. Is it VIG? Is it VYM? Or one of the international ones? So just let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to hear your thoughts. Okay, so I've been getting a lot of requests for this topic, especially Vanguard itself. This dividend funds are one of my favorite topics to talk about because I love dividend-based stocks. And so, of course, we want to know if we're looking at investing in Vanguard or any other platform like Fidelity or whatever, we want to know what dividend funds are available. And the first one is VIG, which is the Vanguard Appreciation ETF. So this is an ETF that invests in dividend stocks that the stocks themselves over time historically raise their dividends. Okay, that's why it's called the dividend appreciation funds, because the stocks inside of them raise their dividends. And I'm excited about this spreadsheet because I'm giving you more detail than I've ever have before. Now, all of the research that was done for this video, as you can see, is, even though I'm shooting this in January right now of 2018, all of the research I did was in December of 2017. So not too long ago. And you're going to find on each work tab or each tab down here the actual link to the Vanguard website that's going to give you more detail about each one of these funds. So we're going to skip this product overview because who cares really? I mean, you can read all about that if you want. And feel free to pause the video anytime you want. Or like I said, you can download the spreadsheet and you can start reading this right now before even continuing the video. So it's up to you. So let's go down here. We're looking at VIG, guys, VIG. As you can see here, historically, it does pretty well. I mean, if you're looking for a place to park your money and let it grow over the next 5 or 10 years, it's not a bad idea at all. Because look at this, guys. It's got a 7% rate of return since inception, like almost 8%. So in the past several years, I mean, you're getting, if you invest in this, not only do you get a dividend yield, but you're getting the appreciation as well, the growth of the actual underlying fund. So your money is growing with it. Anywhere from 7 to 12%, it looks like, as you can see these numbers. I mean, last year it grew 15, or in 1 year it grew 15%. And these, of course, this data I should point out on all of these things, according to on Vanguard's website, is 9/30/2017. But even since then, because I own this one personally, it's doing well. It continues to perform well. It's one of my best performing ETFs. So this one has a dividend yield. Let me go back up here. You can find the yield for each one of these up here near the top of the spreadsheet. It's been around for 12% and it offers about a 2% yield. Of the investments we're covering today, I just have to let it be known that, you know, results in the future may vary. Maybe you won't get the same results, but historically, this dividend fund performs well. So what I've done differently is, of course, I mean, as always, I should say, is I show the top 10 holdings within this dividend fund. But what I've done differently, as opposed to some of my other Vanguard videos, is I wanted to show you the top 100 dividend funds, the top 100 stocks that are within this dividend fund. Now, this dividend fund owns nearly 180 different stocks, and starting with Microsoft is the main one, and Johnson & Johnson. So I've listed out what they are here. So if you wanted to go recreate this on your own, here's the top 100 stocks this dividend fund holds. So feel free to check that out. But now let's go over to the next one, VYM. This one, VYM, is the Vanguard High Dividend Yield ETF. And the yield, as you can see, is higher than the last one. This one, the yield's closer to 3% versus the other one we just looked at, a VIG, was only 2%. So it's a little bit better of a yield. It's been around for 12 years. The link to it's right here. The date of research is right here. Let's go down to the average rates of return. As you guys can see, based on this, and let me make it clear, all the information in the spreadsheet is coming directly from the Vanguard website. I'm not pulling this out of thin air, guys. I don't have any rabbits to pull out of my hat, unfortunately, but all of these pictures and visuals is coming from the Vanguard website, so you can go check it out for yourself anytime. This one, if very similar to VIG, look at this yield. I mean, not the yield, but look at this rate of return. It's around 7 or 8% since inception, just like the last one. So 1 year, it's about 15 to 16% rate of return. Over the last 5 years, it averages about 13%, and over the last 10 years, about 7%. So once again, if you invest in this, I think you could reasonably expect a 7 to 12% return on average, especially when you factor in that dividend yield. I mean, if you got the 15% rate of return in 1 year, or close to 16, add that dividend yield on top of that, you're looking at almost a 20% rate of return right there. So it's not a bad idea at all. What does this one hold? Top 10 holdings: Microsoft, Johnson & Johnson, JP Morgan, ExxonMobil, Wells Fargo, Procter & Gamble, Chevron, etc. And once again, you can this high dividend yield fund owns nearly 400 stocks. So this thing is loaded with stocks. Number one investment's Microsoft, just like with VIG. And you just go down the list if you want to see all the stocks involved, but I'll let you guys look at that on your own time. All right, let's go over to VGI, so Vanguard has 2 international dividend funds, and VGI is the first one. So just like VIG, it's a dividend appreciation ETF, but it's the international dividend appreciation ETF. Big difference here in terms of the number of years these things have been around. Notice these international dividend funds that I'm going to show you today are only 2 years old. So there's not a lot of track history to run with on these things. So just keep that in mind. Dividend yield's about 2.86%. Now let's go down here and look at the rates of return. Okay, as you can see, we only have 1 year of history. So it's kind of hard to gauge where this thing's going to go in the future. So in the past year or so, it's generated about a 14% rate of return. I know as of in 2018, international stocks seem to be doing well right now because a lot of them are undervalued. And so there's a chance that this international dividend ETF is going to do great as well. I don't know for sure though. You'll have to, it's a little bit more risky, like I said, has less of a track record than the other ones we looked at. Okay, top 10 holdings. Now, I'm not going to know, I know what Nestle is, but a lot of these other companies, I don't know what they are. If you know what they are, great. But this is the VIGI dividend appreciation ETF, and 100 companies right here that have been listed for you guys to check out. So this one owns, let's see, I put it on another tab of how many holdings. Oh, here it is. This ETF has 250 holdings in total. So it has a lot of companies within it. Now let's go ahead and look at the next international dividend ETF. And the last one we have to show you today is VYMI, Vanguard International Dividend High Dividend Yield. Yield is around 3%, which is slightly higher than the last one we just looked at. Number of years in existence, once again, only 2. Let's go down here. And this one is performing even better currently than VIGI. So where it's going to go in the future, I have no idea. But right now, it's performing pretty well. So 20% rate of return last year, and that's not including the dividend yield. So that's pretty stellar returns for a dividend fund ETF. Top 10 holdings. Look at Nestle's number 1 on this one, and then Royal Dutch. I've heard of them, and then you can go down the line and see Toyota's down here. I recognize them, and a few of the other ones. And this one, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think I wrote it here. Whoops, I did not write it here. But this, I believe, has over 800 different companies or stocks, individual stocks within it.
That's really impressive. Whoa, just whoa.
So it owns a lot of stocks. So you can go check them out here. Here's the top 100 stocks this thing owns. Now let's look at these. Let's compare these things a little bit against each other. So what I did is I took the top 100 stock holdings of all 4 ETFs we just looked at. VIGI and VYM, those are the US domestic dividend funds. VIGI and VYMI, those are the international dividend funds. So VIGI has 180 holdings, VYM has 400, VIGI has nearly 250, and oh, here it is. This is where I wrote it. VYMI has nearly 900 holdings, which is crazy. It's crazy. And so when I invest in these ETFs or mutual funds or whatever, I always want to know, and maybe you do too, what stocks they actually own, because all of these things are made up of stocks, right? And so what I did this time, differently than some of my other videos, is I've actually listed side by side all 100 stocks of each of these ETFs, the top 100 stocks of that makes up these investments. And you'll see that some are highlighted in green. Well, the greens are the duplicates. That means if you want to know which companies are the same, you know, both of these index funds own the same companies. The ones in green are the ones that each one owns. Those are the copycats. Those are the duplicates. And then same over here. So like see like the yellow, the ones highlighted in yellow. See how this one owns Nestle and then this one owns Nestle. So I've identified in color for you guys so you know what overlap there is in terms of which stock holdings each one holds. Okay, let's compare real quickly. Let's compare VIG versus VYM. So if you're trying to figure out which dividend fund to invest in, hopefully this will help. So let's take a look at that right now. Okay, VIG versus VYM. And so I've given some examples. So first of all, this is the compounding returns of VIG over the last 2 years. It's been 31%, 5 years is 73%, and 12 years, 106% rate of return. The yield is 1.83%. Now let's compare that to VYM. Over the last 2 years, it's got a 28% return. Over the last 5, a 76% rate of return. Over the last 12 years, VYM has got an 82% rate of return. So what you'll notice is that in the last 5 years, VYM is outperforming VIG, but historically in the long run, VIG is still in overall the best performer.
Dominating!
But in the short term, it seems like VYM is maybe catching up to it or outperforming it. So that's that. And on this spreadsheet, just so you guys know, you can look at if you had $1,000 invested, how much that would grow to over time. So if you had invested $1,000 and held it for 12 years, each $1,000 you'd invested would have grown to $2,064. If you would invest in $10,000 and invested it, you could see how this money would grow right here. And if you held $10,000, if you put $10,000 into this thing, you would grow to over $20,000 after 12 years, and provide for every $10,000 you put into this, it would provide you $183 roughly in income. VYM, if we look at this, if you would have put, let's look at $5,000. If you invested $5,000 in this, over the course of 5 years, it would have grown to $8,810. 12 years, $9,000, or just above 9. And so for every $5,000 you put into this VYM index fund, you can expect about $143 in annual income. So just something to expect, or something to consider. Then down here, you're going to find some graphs where I run over a period of 5 years, VIG versus VYM. And as you can see, VYM is in the blue line. That's currently just slightly outperforming VIG at this point in time. And down here, if you look at it from the max chart, you're going to see, look at VIG over the longer period, though, has outperformed VYM. So there's some graphs for you guys. Now, just real quickly, let's look at the international dividend funds. Let's run them against each other and see where it goes.
Round 2. Fight!
Now, like I said, only 2 years of history, so you really can't compare them fairly to the domestic ones, in my opinion. Okay, VIGI, after 1 year, 26% rate of return. 2 years is still around 26% rate of return, and that's because it had a dip in the graph, or it didn't appreciate as much in the second year. Okay, VYMI, after 1 year, you're looking at about an 18% rate of return. After 2 years, a 24% rate of return for VYMI. And as you can see here, same concept, and I'll let you guys look at this, but if you had invested $10,000 in this so far, if you've held it for 2 years, your $10,000 would have grown to $12,634. And for every $10,000 you invest in this, in VIGI, you can expect $286 in annual income. VYMI, for every $10,000 you invest, after 2 years, you would have almost exactly the same amount. They're very close, like at $12,046 versus $12,634. Income per year, so every $10,000 you invest in this thing, guys, you can expect $305 in income roughly. So just to give you some rough estimate numbers on that. And then let's compare the graphs. Let's take a look at them. So down here, we run VIGI versus VYMI. So this is after 1 year because we don't have much history on these things. And in the first year, it looks like VIGI is outperforming VYMI. And this is after 2 years I've run it. And once again, VIG, in a 2-year comparison, it's the VYMI starts to catch up, but it's still below VIGI. And so guys, that's the Vanguard dividend funds. I know I've went over this kind of fast, but I did that on purpose to get through this as quickly as possible for you guys and to deliver the information to you as quickly as possible. So like I said earlier, feel free to download the spreadsheet for yourself and check it out. If you have any comments, questions, please feel free to drop them in the comment section down below. I would love to hear what you have to say, and I would love to hear of these dividend funds we've just looked at, the 4 dividend funds in this video. Which one are you considering investing in? Which one do you think you'll invest in first? I would love to know. Let me know in the comment section down below. And like I personally said, I currently own VIG, and I love it. It does fantastic. It's given me great returns over the past year or so, and I'll probably continue to invest more and more money into it over time. So I hope you found this information helpful, guys. Make sure to download the spreadsheet for yourself. If you liked the video, don't forget to drop a like, because that lets me know you liked it. Share this information with a friend, especially a friend who has Vanguard or a friend who's thinking about getting into investing. I'm sure they would find this information helpful, especially this spreadsheet, because this information is there for you on a silver platter. All you have to do is go download it, and all you have to do is have Microsoft Excel 2007 or greater in order to download the spreadsheet for yourself. And if you have not subscribed, please make sure to do that before leaving, especially if you enjoyed this video. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for taking time out of your day to watch this. I really appreciate it. And I can't wait to hear from you guys. And I hope all of you have a fantastic week and are kicking off 2018 quite well. I'll see you guys next time. Live life uncaged. Bye, guys. Peace.
Finish him!